Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Oldham County Fiscal Court. I'm David Vogel, Judge Executive. Happy to have all of you here today for our meeting on June 18th, 2024. If you have a cell phone with you, we ask you to turn it to off or vibrate, just to, so we don't interrupt the meeting. Now, if you're able, please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Holly Prane, will you please call the roll?
Magistrate Likens.
Here.
Magistrate Tice.
Here.
Magistrate Woosley.
Here.
Magistrate Jeffries.
Here.
Magistrate Hounds.
Here.
Magistrate Hawkins.
Here.
Magistrate Dye.
Present.
Magistrate Logsdon.
Here.
And Judge Vogel.
Here. Having all members of the fiscal court present, this meeting is now in session. Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All right, I have two changes. One, I would like to, under item H, delete the appointment to the LaGrange Development Board, Oldham County Development Board. And under community business, item, I'm going to say B sub 1, a change to our payroll policy. Are there any other appointments here or changes? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to accept the minutes from our last meeting?
So moved. Second.
All right. Are there any changes to those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Time now for public comment. That's the time during our meeting when anyone who would like to address the fiscal court is able to do so. We do have some guests here today, and I understand they're all going to come forward. Three of them are going to speak, but we invite all of our young guests to come forward, and kind of maybe you could flank the speakers at the podium and on each side if you like. And I'll ask you when we ask you to give us your name and address, and when you speak, please speak into the microphone. Okay?
Judge, since we have three speaking, do you want to give them more time up front instead of stopping the clock?
Yeah, sure. We'll give everybody the amount of time they need to get their speeches said. All right, so go ahead. We'll have our first speaker. What's your name, sir?
Lucas Brown.
Now, I'm going to ask you all to project. You're probably not used to microphones, but in order for everyone in the room to hear you, you kind of have to project. So.
Judge, may I make a request? I think that they're all minors, right? Are you guys under 18? Must they give their address, or could they just state that they live in Oldham County?
I think their name and address is fine. That's our policy here.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you're a minor or an adult.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Lucas Brown, LaGrange.
All right, go ahead.
In several states, the legalization of medicinal marijuana has led to the legalization of recreational marijuana. Many people believe that because recreational marijuana will be legalized, we might as well embrace it. But just because something will happen doesn't mean it should. Marijuana is extremely addictive. It alters the natural chemical composition of the brain and affects physiological functions. In fact, some people have had mental breakdowns and psychotic episodes, some of which have led to their deaths. One of these was Johnny Stack, who obtained a medical marijuana card in Colorado, even though he didn't need one. He ended up taking his own life at the age of 19 because of the mental effects the drug had on him. According to the Betty Ford Center, marijuana has negative effects on youth brain development. Just imagine how much easier it will be for youths to get access to this drug if we allow it to be sold in our county. According to PubMed Central, in the state of Colorado, suicides, overdoses, ER visits, hospitalizations, and domestic and street violence have risen dramatically since it was legalized, since recreational and medical marijuana were legalized in 2013. Cannabis tax revenue in that state was less than 1% of their total income in the year 2021. That was dwarfed by the state's cost for law enforcement, car accidents, and school crime. Because of this, over 66% of local jurisdictions have banned medical and recreational marijuana. Do we really want this in our community? In Colorado, traffic deaths where drivers were tested for positive or negative for marijuana has risen by 138%. The percent of suicide where a toxicology report was positive for marijuana has also gone up a staggering amount. As you can see, it is really easy to abuse this drug. The Research Society of Marijuana found that even those with a medical marijuana card, including young people, were, quote, reported heavier, more frequent, and more problematic and risky marijuana use compared to those who used recreationally, end quote. There has not been a lot of research related to just how much medical marijuana can help with a range of issues. Similar to opioids, medicinal marijuana will be marketed as being non-addictive and being the answer to many problems. Opioids brought about the unintended consequences of doctor shopping and pill mills. With the newfound access of medicinal and eventually recreational marijuana, new problems will arise, and we may face wide-ranging effects similar to those of the opioid crisis. Many young people in our community don't truly know the risks of messing around with this drug. If they want it, there are ways they can get it. Let's make that harder. Oldham County is known as the kindness capital of Kentucky. It's a great place to live and grow up. Let's keep it that way. Please don't allow marijuana sales in our county. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now,
Alyssa Horner, LaGrange. Thank you, Lucas. As members of Youth Linking Oldham County, a youth-led mental health awareness and drug abuse prevention coalition, we have recently been studying alcohol, tobacco, and vape shop density in our community. Our biggest takeaway has been the prevalence of marketing and promotion aimed at young people, especially surrounding our school, childcare facilities, and other places we gather. We have a copy of our presentation available for you, and we encourage you to take a deeper look at the clear patterns of marketing of substances toward youth. These constant reminders are normalizing these habits that are dangerously impacting our futures, the future of our families, communities, and state. Whatever doors you open, we are forced to walk through.
Isla Cheryl, LaGrange. While we would prefer there to be no dispensaries in Oldham County, we do have some policies we would like to see implemented to protect future generations if you do choose to allow dispensaries. A few of these include, one, marketing should be targeted towards adults, so placing limits on flashy signs, banners, they decrease youth appeal, which then decreases youth usage. Dispensaries should be a large distance away from schools, childcare facilities, sports complexes, parks, churches, and other family-oriented locations. There should not be sponsorships for youth events or sports. Dispensaries should stand separately from other alcohol and vape shops. Dispensaries should include signage about the dangers of youth and pregnant women usage, and employees of dispensaries should be trained to recognize IDs, certificates, etc. Thank you for your consideration on this issue.
all right, thank you. And would you like to submit those suggestions to us that you just read? You can give us that paper, or you can email them to us.
I can run it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. We appreciate you being here today and taking the time to come and address an important question in our community. And there has been the first reading of ordinance to prohibit cannabis dispensaries in Oldham County. The first reading was at the last fiscal court meeting. The second reading and the decision about whether or not they will be allowed will occur at the meeting on June 26th. It'll be the last meeting of this year. So, and thank you all for dressing up and coming today and learning a little bit about how county government works here, okay? So you'll learn a little bit as long as you're able to stay. We certainly appreciate you being here. And speaking up, that's how we all get things done. All right, the next, anyone else here to address the fiscal court? Okay.
I'll keep it brief. Good afternoon, Amy Alvey, Oldham County Clerk. Apologies, I was out of town the first fiscal court meeting after the election, so I wanted just to give you guys a little bit of statistical information regarding the May primary. We had 7,125 votes cast in the May primary, so that is approximately 12.5%. We anticipated that the turnout would be low. However, you still have to plan for the masses. So we have 56,943 registered voters. So again, only 7,125 participated in that election. 24 were voted during 6-day. During early voting, we only had the 3 days combined with 1,766 voters. Last election, last November, we averaged about 1,800 voters per day. So again, we do anticipate this will increase come November. Election day went smooth. We had no issues. 3-day early voting. We had approximately 36 different poll workers that worked those 3 days. Some people worked multiple days. Other people only worked 1 day. It's whatever was flexible enough for their schedule. And then on election day, we had 107 poll workers working those 9 locations. So just kind of give you a perspective of how many people it takes from the community just to get the elections done. I also want to thank Dr. Radford, Oldham County Superintendent, for opening up the schools to us. That is a huge asset to us. As well as their administrative staff, their principal at each of those locations, the administrative staff, as well as their maintenance staff, because they help us move the tables, they make sure everything's clean. And also we utilized LaGrange Baptist Church, Crestwood Baptist Church, and Westport Baptist Church, and Pee Wee Valley Fire Department. So, I just wanted to give kudos to them for allowing us to use their beautiful facilities to get these elections up and running. Also wanted to thank the road department. The road department assists myself, Michael, and Tabitha. Tim Wakefield helps us set up, as well as my dear husband that didn't know he was signing up for this when I became clerk. So he was a big help. Everyone helped. We had to set everything up on election or the day before the election in the afternoon, because schools were in session. So we had to wait for the kids to get out of school to be able to set those up. So the other locations we set up in the morning. Maintenance department, Joe Kelly, he delivered and picked up for early voting. And that is on a Saturday. So Joe doesn't work on Saturdays, but Joe came and picked up along with his wife, helped load all the equipment, and delivered those back to our Crestwood location. Another big asset that we have with elections is the sheriff's department. As I said, Sheriff Wakefield, he travels to all of those locations with us the day before the election and helps me set those stations up, carries printers in, pushes the equipment in. And then he also has a deputy on site at every day that the polls are open. So 3 days of early voting as well as election day. We have a sheriff's deputy at each location to ensure, everyone is safe and things are being handled correctly. Again, we do expect a much larger turnout. So anybody that wants to sign up to be a poll worker, thank you, Fiscal Court, for increasing their per diem. Hopefully that will be able for me to, retain the workers that I have now, and also it'll be a little bit of a carrot to try and get new people involved in the community and the election process by increasing that per diem per day. And then also, I wanted to let you guys know that Matt Tolar with Oldham County Planning and Development Services, he is their GIS manager. We are currently working on a map that will be linked on my webpage, which obviously I will share it via Facebook so people can get to it too. And then it'll be on the county website as well under their maps on the GIS. But you will be able to put in your address on the political map, and when it zooms to your pinpoint and you hit the drop down box, it'll tell you the judge executive, who your magistrate is, who your congressperson is, state representative, school board, magistrate, all of that information. And then we can tie links to that as well. So it can go to the fiscal court page, to the magistrate contact page, or the judge executive's contact information. So we're trying to make it a little more interactive. When people don't know who they need to reach out for representation, we're going to have that political map. And again, that Matt and I are working on that as we speak. And then we'll also have a button that'll say election information that will take them to my page, and it'll give them the election days, locations, and times, and things of that nature. So, but just wanted to let everybody know that it takes many hands to get the election done, and I appreciate everyone's help and your guys' support as much too. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Amy. Oh, you have questions?
Just one question.
Yes, sir.
I know you were looking for another location for the fall election. Were you able to
Yes.
locate a
We will have a second early voting day location. So we will still have the John Black Center on that Thursday and Friday. It's it's Halloween, so it's October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd, which is that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll still have early voting at the John Black Center, and we'll also have it at Crestwood Baptist Church. So there will be two locations for early voting because we anticipate that much of a turnout. The state has been pushing for Oldham County to have a second location. Really didn't see the need for it for the May primary because we knew we were going to have such a low turnout, but we really anticipate that we will need that second location for the November election. But yeah, it'll be at Crestwood Baptist Church.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else to address the public comment? All right, seeing no one, we'll close public comment and go on to the next item on our agenda today, and that's the Sheriff's 2023 tax settlement. Sheriff Wakefield.
Good afternoon. I think you all have a copy of the settlement that needs to be signed by the judge executive. Basically, it says that we collected, let me see, total taxes for 2023 were $100,410,122. So that was after we had to take off about $400,000 in refunds, 2% discounts, unpaid delinquent taxes and things like that. So basically the settlement explains everything. If you have any questions, my commission on that for 2023 was about 2.2 million, a little over 2.2 million. 997 of that went to the school, or came from the school, I'm sorry. So that's about a not quite a $2 million increase. I mean, a $200,000 increase in commissions from 2022. So.
Does anyone have any questions for Sheriff Wakefield?
We need a motion for this, Judge?
Yes.
I'll make the motion for you to sign the Sheriff's Tax Settlement Statement.
I'll second it.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Thank you.
The next item on the agenda here is the first reading of the planning and zoning change proposed for Creasy Mahan.
Judge, we have payables.
Did I skip payables? All right, thank you.
Make a motion, we pay the bills.
Second.
All right. Discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. All right. You want to? Yeah, you can, yes. All right, now we'll go on to the first reading of a change to a zoning map for the Creasy Mahan Nature Preserve, Track 2. We have Ryan Fisher from Planning and Development.
Hello, Ryan Fisher, Senior Planner with Oldham County Planning and Development. Judge Vogel, Magistrates, County Attorney Baxter, thank you for allowing us to speak real briefly before you today. So this is the first reading of a zoning map amendment. That is KOC-24-920-464. So that will be for a zoning map amendment for a 1.657 acre tract on the larger Creasy Mahan property. They are asking for a zoning change from R2 residential, and that will be going to C1 commercial, our local business district zoning. And that is for their Thrive Forest School, which is a nature-based preschool and day camp they have for 3 to 6 year olds out there. And so they're asking for the zoning change just on that small portion of land. That was heard before the Planning Commission in April, on April 23rd, and that did pass, as well as the corresponding development plan. So they have recommended approval to you all, and we will have our second reading of that on July 16th, and you all will be receiving more information, and as well as we'll do a full presentation and public hearing that day.
All right, are there any brief questions for clarification here? Seeing none, we'll go on. We won't do anything else, all right? The next item here, I added this item B here, and this would be a adjustment to our payroll policy. I'm suggesting and that for the summer pool season, we're now open. A lot of people coming to the pool, having a lot of fun. Some of them are county employees. Traditionally, I guess county employees have been offered a discount at the pool, but it's a little bit confusing for all concerned. So I'm suggesting that we change the payroll policy to allow county employees to attend the pool with a pass for themselves or their family, immediate family, children under 18 years of age. The cost of whatever that summer pass would be included as part of their compensation for the year and in our payroll reporting at the end of the year. So I'm making that suggestion. Would like to have court approval for it.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Thank you. Next item has to do with the jail equipment here. Chief Officer, Financial Officer Stan Clark.
Okay, the first thing is for some jail arrangement equipment grant. They call it Phase 1 and 2. You've got a copy of it. This is basically, we're asking permission that you allow the judge to sign for the grant application. It's not, and then we'll submit the grant. It's not, we have not determined, we have to apply it before we receive it. The grant is up to $179,598 for jail video arrangement equipment. And so, pretty straightforward. This is something that the state is making available to all jails, and via grant. And if once a grant's applied for, if approved, then we will go out, purchase the equipment, and get reimbursed.
All right, is there a motion that I be allowed to apply for this grant?
Second.
Video equipment, okay. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Mr. Clark, you're up again here with another jail item.
Okay. The jail has a health services agreement with Southern Health Partners, which basically it's a contract we've had since 2017. It's got some built-in CPI and stuff. And over the course of the years, we've asked for some changes, and you have an amendment that we would go to. It's to cover a couple of things. Since the pandemic, there's been times that they have been unable to get the qualified individual in the detention center, and other times there have been actually no show occasionally. That hasn't been happening a lot, but we have always felt that if they can't, for whatever reason, staff it due to their shortage, that we shouldn't have to pay for it. So this amendment basically allows us to get a refund and when those situations occur. The other thing is, a lot of the services there are required by the fact that we take in federal inmates. And we looked at the matching required services to need. And in this, we've discovered that we were providing a lot of ours for mental health, but it wasn't being used. And so we've reduced it down to a more reasonable basis of need and use, which results in a savings to the contract of about $60,000 a year. So I just ask that the judge be allowed to sign this amendment to incorporate those changes.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right, any discussion on these savings approach here? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next item has to do with a grant application for spay-neuter grant, and Polly will go through that with us.
Good afternoon. We are again applying for the Kentucky Department of Agriculture spay-neuter grant. This grant helps to spay and neuter pets of owners who might not otherwise be able to do so. This helps to reduce the community's care, our expense. So we have less animals in the shelter who are unwanted. Therefore, we're asking the court to authorize Judge Vogel to sign this grant application and any other related forms for this grant.
I make that motion, Judge.
Second.
All right. All right, any discussion? These, can anybody bring their animal in there for treatment, or do you have to have a certain income level?
It's income level based. We do go through the Humane Society of Oldham County because they give us a reduced rate, so that helps. But anybody can go to the Humane Society.
Anybody could go, but to qualify for the grant, you have to
Income
have an
based.
income
Right.
below a certain level.
Correct.
Okay, all right. All right, Magistrate Hawkins?
It looks like we match that if we should get that, right? If you should get it, we match it by 3,000. Is that what that means?
Correct. They've lowered the amount that they're offering. It's $1,075, I believe. So we can match that. We've already got 3,000 in it.
Okay.
I've got invoices for that much I can submit. So that's why I matched it at 3, because we're more likely to get the full amount instead of the partial.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. We've had a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. AT&T Fiber Service Master Agreement for the Ballardsville Tower. Bo Glass is here.
Thank you, Judge. Bo Glass, Director, Oldham County Dispatch. I'm asking for the judge's signature on a master agreement that will allow AT&T Fiber be ran to the new Ballardsville Tower, Oldham County Dispatch, and the existing Wave Tower off 42 that will give connectivity to all of them by fiber.
All right.
Judge, I'll make that motion that we sign the master agreement with AT&T.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion on this?
Judge, isn't
Yes,
this
sir.
something that we've worked on several months ago? Or is this a new tire? There was
the
a tire
same.
stuff we agreed upon several months ago affected the getting into the Centerfield area.
Right.
Ballardsville Tower.
Building the tower at the fire department of Ballardsville.
So
Okay,
let
and
me,
is this the same?
Yes, sir.
Bo,
That's
can you,
what I thought
can
it
you
was, but I
explain why
wasn't
we
sure.
have to have the fiber runs?
Well, you have two options. You have a microwave run, which means it shoots from antenna to antenna, and a fiber is a much more secure source of getting the voice to all locations and back. And it also gives us a backup if something happens to the wave tower. It gives us another redundant system to bounce off of for communications.
In order for us to make this, when we first started out with the project, we were doing radio, we would have had to increase the height of the
Tower.
Ballardsville Tower to 250 or something, which didn't make any sense. So we went the fiber route, which, as the director just explained, is more reliable than the microwave links anyway.
Is AT&T doing that for us?
Yes, sir. Well, it's a contractor, Nordicom. AT&T's kind of gotten out of the labor part of getting it to the buildings.
Got it. But they're approved by AT&T.
Yes, sir. Recommended by.
And this was part of the original project for the Ballardsville Tower. It's not a new nuance. We just finally got the contract piece.
Just got to here.
And that's what I kind of thought, and that's the reason I asked.
Yeah, no worries.
Magistrate Jeffries.
Just one quick question. Do we have a timeline yet to when the tower is going to start at Ballardsville?
Unfortunately not. There's a few things that set us back. A soft goal would be the end of July, but a lot of things were set just based on the availability of equipment. If everything was sitting on a shelf waiting to be pulled and put together, it would have been the end of July. I honestly think we're going to be looking somewhere in September-ish, if not maybe October.
Before they start?
No. I think you should be starting relatively soon.
Okay.
They just got approval. They have to post the project on some site. I'm not really sure what that, being an engineer, maybe you know, I'm not sure. But, and if anybody objects to it or wants to check the area, and actually, interesting enough to me, the Cherokee Nation researched the area and gave approval, and so that kind of set us back just a little bit of time, so.
Well, FAA has to have a sign off on it also.
Okay, yes. Oh, yes, I'm sorry, sir.
FCC.
I'm sorry. FAFCC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and FCC.
So, Bo, this fiber it's in front of the building, right?
Yes, sir. Well, where it's going to end up, it will be back where the tower is going to be sitting.
But it can't be on the tower, right? Because that's a Motorola tower.
It's going to be going to a cabinet that's going to be attached to the tower. The equipment comes down off the tower to the cabinet. They'll meet there.
Okay.
So it's in a hut on the outside of, underneath the tower on the
Yes.
ground. It's going to run from there over to OCD and then out to the wave tower.
Okay, everybody sufficiently informed on how those fiber optic lines are going to run? Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So did we have a motion in a second here?
I'll
Yes,
move.
we did.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now we have some personnel actions here. First one, Parks, new hire, seasonal parks maintenance at 15 an hour, Owen Bramlett and Quentin Goldley.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Rehire, Jacob Kehoe, the lifeguard, $15 an hour, effective tomorrow.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have engineering department rehire, Vic Peak, construction site inspector. Vic would come aboard. We have a couple of people who are going to be leaving in different times here through the summer on family leave from the engineering department, and we need someone to experience to take their place. And Vic Peak, a former employee, is offered to come back and do this as needed at $37.84 per hour.
So move, Judge.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Finally, we have a promotion announcement here for the Planning and Zoning Department Services. The director to take effective on September 1st, 2014. That'd be Ryan Fisher, current Planning and Development Supervisor, to replace Jim Urban, who plans to retire on the 1st of September. So we have a motion for Ryan.
Judge, you want to check your date?
What did I say?
You said 2014.
I think that's what I
Well-
heard. That's what Stephanie heard. So we might,
Yeah.
two of us could be wrong.
I mean, did I say he's going to take effect on 2014?
Yes.
It's actually September 1st, 2024. But I need glasses. I can't, plus I need a little more than that, actually, but, all right.
Judge, I'll make that
okay.
motion.
All right. Second. All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. 1 no. Motion carries 8-1. Thank you. Next item is, we left that off. I canceled that one. And so now we'll go to
North Oldham.
second, let's see here. Okay, I've got the North Oldham Fire Department District here. Huh? Yeah, thank you. I've got, these are all, here I have to, wait a minute, here's a tab. Thank you. Okay, I see it. All right, North Oldham Fire, reappoint Ben Lancaster for a term to expire on June 30th of 2027.
Make that motion, Judge. Second.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next appointment would be a reappointment of Patrick Stess to a term to expire on 6/30/2027 at the South Oldham Fire Protection District Board.
Judge, I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Final appointment here to the Planning and Zoning Commission. I would like to appoint Deborah Kraus to fulfill the unexpired term of Joe Ender. This term would go on until September 17th, 2025. And then at that point, Deborah could be reappointed to her own term, but she'd be filling out the remainder of Joe Ender's term until that time. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second, all right. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Anybody opposed? Hear that? Okay. That was 9-0. Thank you. All right, time now for our second public comment. Is there anybody who come in here who would like to address the fiscal court? Seeing no one, I'll close that. We're going to have a short meeting today. We'll wind up in just a minute or two. Magistrate Logston, do you have any
Yes,
final
Judge.
comments?
Just want to remind everybody, Old Airing will be closed. It'll be Thursday, Friday of this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Basically at the bridge, and you'll have to go back either up Cedar Point Road, down to New Cut, 1818, over to 329, or back Cedar Point Road to 146. So it's just going to be, they'll be working on the road. It's a very narrow road, so it's just going to try to alleviate some traffic on there.
Measure die.
Thank you, Judge. I understand that we were still suffering from this car break-in throughout the county. And there's been some discussion about people leaving weapons in their cars. Well, I was reading the newspaper the other day, and there's a child death, one a day. That doesn't seem like a lot unless it's your child. By finding a weapon in a home. And one phrase I thought was rather interesting here, it says that, if I can find it again, it said, out of sight and out of reach is not secure storage. So if you have a weapon in your car, take it out. If you have a weapon in your home, secure it properly. Because those of you that have children know they can just creep around and crawl and find all kinds of things. So that's all I got to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Hawkins.
I drove the bridge today on 53, and it's reopened, so that'll be welcome news for a lot of people. And Judge, did you want to talk about the Commerce Parkway paving and all that, the schedule for that?
Well, I mean, it's being done right now, and
Yeah.
I expect it to be finished by the end of the day.
By the end of the day today?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if that was
And
still
that's
part
what
of
they
the plan.
said, so,
Okay.
you know.
Okay, but that's all I have today.
Okay, thank you. Magistrate Hounds.
Thank you, Judge. It's a proud moment to be a father, and I've got two kids that I'm very fortunate don't cause me much angst. My daughter gave me a tie for Father's Day, which I'm wearing. It's American flags, and she said that I wouldn't wear it to court. And I said, well, I most certainly will wear it to court, and I'm pretty proud of the tie that she gave me. Take some time to spend some time this summer with your loved ones. It's short-lived. My son's getting ready to be a senior in high school, which I knew it would happen. I just didn't know it would happen this fast. So lots of cool things are happening. A lot of people are walking up and down the streets and crosswalks and everything. And today, as I was walking to lunch at through LaGrange, people don't really want to stop at the crosswalks. If the light is not in your favor, then that doesn't mean that you can make your turn. People are crossing the crosswalks, especially in front of the clerk's office. In the time I was standing there was 5 people that tried to cross, and one person very closely got hit. So please pay attention to that. Stay off your cell phones if you're driving. Use voice to text if you've got to do something like that. But let's try to be attentive drivers and not cause any more problems than there need to be out there. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Jeffries.
Yes, Judge. Just a couple things. And I do want to also thank KYTC and their contractors on the 53 bridge work. As Magistrate Hawkins pointed out, they opened this morning, and it's a really nice, smooth surface, and I think it's going to be really good moving forward, and I think folks are going to be happy, definitely happy that it's opened back up. I-71, the new bridges, the new ramps, at 20, we haven't gotten official notice yet, but hopefully sooner than later. The lighting is all wired, the striping has been done, so I think it's just a matter of making sure, I guess, all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, but those ramps should be opening fairly soon. And I also wanted to welcome a new editor from the Oldham area, Heath Harrison. He's here with us today, and so is welcome to Oldham County, and look forward to working with you. So that's all I have, Judge.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Woosley.
Thank you, Judge. I just wanted to give an aquatic center update. We've had a busy first month. We have 4,704 attendees through the park this month, through the aquatic center this month. We've sold 142 memberships, and more importantly, we've had 12 lifeguard saves already this year. Upcoming events, we have the fireworks show at Wendell Moore Park on July 4th. It's going to be starting at 10 p.m. On July 6th, we're having the 17th annual Firecracker 5K run that will start at Schomburg Park. And on August 24th, there's a sprint triathlon that's going to start at Wendell Moore Park. And that's all I have, Judge.
Thank you. Magistrate Tice.
Like Magistrate Hawkins said, she drove across the bridge today. She left out. It was great. I went across it also, so nothing else.
It is great.
Magistrate Likens.
Thank you, Judge. Just want to tell members of the court that we are holding a special Building and Maintenance Committee meeting, which will be next Wednesday a week on June the 26th. It's to take place of the one that's canceled because we moved our July the 2nd meeting back to June the 26th. It's mainly to get updates on the new animal control building, find out. So if anyone needs any information on that, they're very welcome to attend. It'll be 1 o'clock just before fiscal court, Wednesday the 26th.
All right, thank you. Well, there's just, you mentioned that we had a couple of runs mentioned. I want to mention that as part of our bicentennial, we're going to have a run and bicentennial walk and run. It'll be on the evening of July 19th, the night before Oldham County Day, and it involves an event the Chamber is putting on, and it's going to run along Commerce Parkway up to the walking path over the interstate, and then turn around and run back the other way down to, I'm not exactly sure where it starts on Commerce Parkway, but we're calling it the Bicentennial Trail, and that's been part of the Greenways for Oldham County for some time, and people are trying to revive that. Walkers are also invited to this walk-run or run-walk, and you can start walking from the bridge over the interstate to the conclusion spot, I guess, around the Baptist Church on the Commerce Parkway. So
It'll be at the movie theater, Judge.
is it the movie theater?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. I didn't know exactly where that ended, but that's a good spot.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
plenty
what-
of parking
that's what they
there.
thought.
All right. Ramps have been mentioned. We don't know. They keep telling us soon. So, soon being a subjective word. It's hopefully. I'd like to think it'd be by the end of the month, but I can't say for certain. There was a article in the Oldham Era this week coming out about problems we've had at Schomburg Park. We haven't said too much about this because we are getting all our, let's say, plans together. The pavilion was constructed down there along with a restroom building that did not meet code. Unfortunately, the people that came in and did the contract work ignored our planning and zoning and code enforcement restrictions, didn't get footer checks, a lot of things that didn't do what they were supposed to do. It became apparent as the thing finally was nearing what we thought was completion, but it wasn't. The restroom building is totally wrong, has to come down, be rebuilt. The pavilion has to have the floor taken out and redone. Rebar needs to be put in the floor. Why it was not put in there, we have no idea. But the contract group from Illinois that was doing the work, I assume these same rules apply in Illinois, but for some reason, a big corner was cut here. Well, we found out about it thanks to primarily our Deputy Judge Joe Ender has been down there, our Jim Silliman has been there, our county engineer, we've had our inspection people there. And we were working with the company that we bought this from. It's a pretty looking pavilion, but it has to be done correctly to be safe. And that's why the caution tape is up around it. You'll see a picture of it. Over the work on Westport Park has been going on for at least 7 or 8 years. We've bought 5 different properties down there over the years, expanded, and we have, continued year by year to move forward with trying to add something to make that the beautiful park it is turning into. It's certainly one of the most beautiful, perhaps the most beautiful location in the entire county when you think of the sweeping power of the Ohio River moving past and the beautiful trees across the way in Indiana in the fall. It's just a lovely sight, and these buildings were meant to complement that, and they'll be done right. These changes are not going to cost the county government any money. We're not letting the company we bought this from send anybody else in here. We're going to redo it ourselves. We're hiring our own contractor that we're positive has experience and the ability to put up a new restroom building properly and restore the aspects of the pavilion that were not done adequately to begin with. So the pavilion, we hope they have done, I hope it's done certainly in just a few weeks so it can be used. The restroom building may take the rest of the summer into the fall. We're disappointed about this and really, but the company's been good to work with. The products are good. It's just that the contractor that was hired to do this did not do an adequate job. They just didn't serve us properly, nor did they serve the company we bought the materials from. So it's going to be squared around, and it's going to come up and be a beautiful facility, and we hope to have some type of bicentennial event there later this year. The courthouse across the street is not too far away from getting the windows installed. White window frames will go in, and then windows will be put in. They're beginning to work a little bit, I believe, on the drywall, and it can't be reached by having open windows. People say these windows are open. It's not doing any damage to the inside of the building. Things are fine. But once the white frames go around the openings, it's going to take a dramatic step up in the minds of our community as far as the beauty of the building. The statue and the brickwork on the front on the plaza is just about finished, and the fencing will be pulled back further into the property, so it'll be available for Oldham County Day to be used for booths and whatever. So it's coming. We've been in there and toured it, and I'm have to wait. It won't be done until probably the fall of next year, but we have a beautiful walnut woodworking that's going to go in there, and I think the county is going to be really stunned when they go into the building and see what is being built. So we have to wait to have it happen, but it's going to happen. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye.